Hi everyone, and thanks for being with me again. I don't mind admitting that I get a great amount of joy, not quite love, but joy and satisfaction out of watching Donald Trump. For a number of reasons. Firstly, I find it difficult to believe or even understand why anybody would support such a moron. I mean, he's clearly racist, he's misogynist, he's egotistical, he's narcissistic, he's almost all of the disdainful things that one would like to or can consider in relation to any individual. And Donald Trump is all of them. So, what is there that people admire in this orange piece of crap? Well, not too sure, but clearly there are people that do. I'm excited, I must say, terribly excited about the possibility of this man finally going to jail. I think it would be an indictment on the United States justice system if they actually were able to place someone who clearly has committed so many crimes in jail. And I just want to highlight the fact that this man has committed 91 indictments. And it's hard to imagine that there wouldn't be anybody on this planet who, after being indicted so many times, actually where one of those indictments didn't stick. Now, in the Fannie Willis case in Georgia, they only have to find two. They only have to find two occasions on which he's contravened the law and he will be going to jail. To think that this man can get away with all of the things that he has done, including not only the insurrection, but I guess the idea that this man tried to topple a government, the United States government, for his own gain, nothing to do with the people, nothing to do with necessarily the rule of law. Far from it, in fact. What he was trying to do was justify his own inadequacies by losing to someone like Joe Biden. I mean, I can appreciate that might really hurt, losing to someone who's a few years older than yourself, but nevertheless, it's been painful for poor old Donald. And as a result of that, he must find a way to combat this in whichever way he can, because he cannot allow his ego to suffer as it has suffered through the humiliation. There is no greater public humiliation than losing in the way that Donald Trump has lost to Joe Biden. Not only did Donald Trump receive record numbers really for his party, but so did Biden. So there must have been a lot of people who actually didn't like Trump, period, and who decided to get rid of him. But Trump was not able to wear that. What he has done in the meantime is try and find ways to circumvent the law so that he could be reinstated. And it has failed. And the United States system, as corrupt and as terrible as it is, has at least found a way to be able to say to him, we're going to put you in jail, mate, for all the things that you've done. And we're going to work hard at making sure that the rule of law is applied to you, regardless of the position that you hold at the moment as an ex-president. I'm hoping, and I don't know whether it's a vague hope, whether it's reality or not, but I think the worst thing that the American system could do is to treat him differently just because he's an ex-president. They need to find a way to be able to treat him like they would any other citizen before the courts. And my fear, though, I guess, is that they will try and find ways to make life easier for him than they would for other people. Now, the other concern I have is that he will still spout his racist comments towards the court system and the judges and jurors and others, and not be held account for those crazy things that he will say that would normally have someone else locked up until their case was heard. Now, I couldn't think of anything more exciting, quite frankly, and this is why I find it so entertaining. I couldn't think of anything more exciting than a judge saying, you've gone too far, you can't say some of these things that you've now been saying, and that as a result of that, I'm going to lock you up. I know that there is a fear that the right wing would respond, his sycophants would respond in such a terrible way that there would potentially be bloodshed. I get that. And it's going to take a hell of a judge to be able to stand by, in this case, probably her conviction, in order to implement a sanction against him that is going to mean that Donald Trump will consequently be locked up if he contravenes any decision that she's made in relation to things that he can or can't say. And I think that moment will be a pivotal point in American society where everybody will start to realise that no matter how much money you've got, no matter how much position you hold or have held, that everyone is equal under the law. It needs to be applied to Trump so that people can see that contravening the law has its penalties, regardless of how much money you've got, what corporation you own, or what position you've ever held. I think this is an important message for the American people to understand. It's a more important message for all democracies to understand. And it's really important that in this instance, that Trump be held responsible for the terrible things that he's done to the American society, and for the potential terrible things he may do by saying the things that he feels he must say in order to attempt to exonerate himself. You know, he was going to hold a press conference today, but that's been cancelled because his lawyers have simply said, mate, you better not do that because you like to open your big mouth, stick both feet in it, and find yourself in jail. And so they are, at least the solicitors that is now listening to, which in itself is different, they are at least being able to influence him appropriately so that he doesn't say things that entice others to become violent. And I don't dislike Americans, far from it. But I dislike any system, whether it be American, Australian, whatever, whereby we allow people to get away with crimes simply because they have the money and the resources to fight them. And the people that are poor, the people that normally find themselves in front of the court system, have not got the resources to be able to prolong proceedings in the same way that Trump will attempt to do. The system is unjust. The system is unfair. But at least in this instance, the system can prove to work. If it fails to hold Donald Trump to account for all of his 91 crimes, or for at least for some of them, then America's in trouble. Democracy's in trouble. And there's no doubt that America will fall as a result. And if Donald Trump is ever elected back into power, he will destroy their country. So remember that this is an opportunity for these 91 indictments, at least some of them, to be held in a way that a jury may be able to find him and convict him, because that is the lesson that America needs to learn. Now, let me know what you think. Please subscribe to my channel. Send me messages down below in the comment section if you wish to make any comments about anything that I say, and stay informed. So just want to say thanks everybody for being here. Take care, look after yourselves, and more importantly, be safe.